For our brain project, we decided to explore the wonders of the left and right brain through the book, The Tale of the Dueling Neurosurgeons. Slide 2. The case study. WJ is a Marine who, at 22 years old, fell out of a plane. He was found unconscious by Nazis in Holland and captured as a prisoner of war. A Nazi also cracked WJ on the head with the butt of a rifle that led to complications in his life. WJ did not receive any treatment and began experiencing abscesses in time, memory loss, seizures, and was increasingly lethargic. Could WJ have been experiencing signs of a hemorrhage? Two LA surgeons hypothesized that WJ's complications could be due to his damage in his corpus callosum, so they set forth to perform a colossotomy. A colossotomy is a surgery that splits the brain in half by making a mid-sagittal cut through the corpus callosum.
Slide 3. The two LA surgeons who performed WJ's surgery felt that there were no complications after someone had their corpus callosum cut. They had done some tests and everyone had seemed normal. They had emotions, lost no memory, and were completely functioning people. They felt confident in their work and challenged Roger Sperry to test their patients. Roger Sperry was known in the scientific world for challenging others and proving their hypotheses wrong. When he was in college, he did an experiment on frogs that proved his professor's theory paper wrong. He later proved others wrong by doing an experiment on fish dealing with cranial nerves. Sperry and Gazzaniga started their testing on cats and monkeys. They had them run through a maze. Easy enough. They then put an eye patch on the animal and had them get through the same maze. It took them a little bit longer, but the animals were still doing okay. Sperry then switched the eye patches to the other eye, and the cats and monkeys had tons of trouble getting through the maze. After Sperry and Gazzaniga realized there was definitely something between the two hemispheres in the brain, they were giddy with delight. They then moved on to the patients who had a colossotomy done. The main experiment was done with a tachystoscope. Sperry would flash pictures onto a large screen, either on the left or right side. The patient was holding a buzzer in each hand and then had to verbally say yes, they saw the picture, or no, they did not. If the picture was seen on the right side of the screen, a person's left hand would click the button and they would verbally say, yes, I saw a picture of whatever they saw. On the other hand, if a person saw the picture on the left side of the screen, their right hand would click the buzzer, but the subject would state that they did not see an image, and they were set in that belief. This experiment showed that when a corpus callosum is cut, a person loses the connection between the two hemispheres in their brain. When a picture was flashed on the right side, the hand knew it saw something, but since the neuron connections were missing, a person could not physically say they saw a picture. This is because Broca's area is located on the left side of the brain, and that is what allows for speech. This experiment, along with some others, showed that humans have a colossotomy basically have two separate brains because neurons cannot travel between the two hemispheres.
Slide 4. The top left picture shows a normal CAT scan image, a minor hemorrhage, and a severe hemorrhage. It is believed that WJ may have had a brain hemorrhage, and it could have been the beginning stages of why he needed a colossotomy. The bottom left picture shows an MRI scan of both a normal brain and a brain after a colossotomy. In the right brain, you can see clearly the split right down the corpus callosum. The figure on the right shows the different areas of the brain after the brain was sectioned, so it is viewing the center of the right hemisphere of the brain. Here you can see where the corpus callosum is in correspondence to the other areas of the brain. Slide 5. The figure on the bottom left shows the communication between the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. If you look at the brain with the intact corpus callosum on the left, the arrows are able to reach the other hemisphere across the corpus callosum, therefore allowing them to share information. The brain with the separated corpus callosum on the right shows how the arrows stop right at the end of their respective hemisphere. This demonstrates how the hemispheres are not able to retrieve or send information to the other half. The image in the top right shows an example of the experiment Sperry and Gazzaniga conducted on people who had a colossotomy. Here, a picture is shown of an item on the left side of the screen. Because the left eye corresponds with the right side of the brain, as seen with the figure on the left of the slide, the left side of the brain is unaware of the image. Therefore, when he is asked, "What do you see?" he responds, "I saw nothing," because the left hemisphere controls speech, and technically the left hemisphere did not see anything. When the boy is then asked to pick up what he has saw, he subconsciously picks up the correct item because the right side of the brain is still aware of the item. In the last part of this picture, an image appears on the right half of the screen, and the right eye corresponds with the left half of the brain, thus allowing the participant to verbally identify the item he saw.
Slide 6. In the end, the experiment showed that there are side effects of cutting the corpus callosum. It is like the person has two different brains functioning to control them. By cutting the corpus callosum, the communication between the left and right hemispheres is lost. We have found that the left brain has better facial recognition, better spatial awareness, is musically inclined, and dominates certain aspects of language. The right brain is more artistically inclined. Where the left hemisphere likes logic, the right brain tends to be more creativity-based. Sperry won the Nobel Prize in 1981 for his work and research with the collosotomy. Today, research is still being done to differentiate the hemisphere's functions. There are many experiments still going on to learn more about how cutting the corpus callosum truly affects a patient.